Welcome to Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet product designer, manufacturer, marketing coordinator who's going to give us some history on a Japanese company and their newest pet-related product. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, an inventor. She's an adventure seeker, a foodie, and a world traveler. She's a fitness fanatic, a horseback rider, originally from Minnesota, and currently lives in New Jersey. She's cat mom to two street cats named Brooklyn and Athena, who my guest clicker trained. Yay! She is the proud caregiver, or horse mom, I guess we could call her, to a spicy horse, she says, named Mr. She's designer of ZeLo, a pet hair roller that was specifically designed for pet parents. And she's going to tell us all the reasons why it was specifically designed and why it's so different than anything we've ever seen. Her name is Virginia Mott, and she's Nitto's senior marketing manager. Welcome, Virginia. It's so good to have you on the show.
Wow, what an introduction. I feel so honored.
It's my pleasure. You are the first person on the show that's ever been kind of on the manufacturing side. So this is like a really good education for me. Thank you for doing this.
Well, that's awesome. We can talk about how you can design products for pets and how products should be designed for pets.
You're going to tell me all about that. But before we go into that, I'm going to play our drinking game today. So anybody at home participating in our drinking game, anytime you hear this word, make sure you take a drink of whatever you're enjoying. But please be sure you're over 21 to partake in an alcoholic beverage in the US. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly. Because we're speaking about a Japanese brand today, what's the drinking age in Japan? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to answer incorrectly.
Yeah, I need to find out.
Somebody will fact check me.
Yeah, no, I know. Trust me. This every day is like, what is this right? Is somebody going to call me out? So I won't even, but I will put it here so that we all get an education on the minimum drinking age in Japan. Most countries are less than 21, so I'm assuming at least there'll be 21 and over in Japan. I don't know, we'll find out. So what are you having tonight, Virginia? Are you drinking anything?
I've actually it's just a glass of water for me today, but that's what I have.
Oh my goodness. I was thinking because you're in Jersey and it's 5 o'clock, you were going to have some kind of awesome cocktail or something to decompress. Did you have an easy week or a hard week?
I've had a week. I'm trying to remember it all, but we can pretend this is sake too, since we're on the chat.
Oh, sake! I love that. Perfect. I should have had sake. I love sake, especially the unfiltered, the nigori. I love that one so much. But today I'm actually having a humongous espresso martini because that's the week I've had. So cheers! Thank you for being on the show.
You know how we do it in Japan? Kanpai.
Kanpai. I love when I learn all these things from my guests who speak other languages. So how fluent are you in Japanese?
I am not. I am not at all. I just know the important words like toast and salute.
And have you been able to visit Japan a lot since you work for a Japanese company?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. And we got to see our production facilities and see how the employees are handling all of our cool products.
I love that so much.
Looks like you have an extra guest back there now.
We do. Never apologize for a cat cameo. Never apologize. Which cat is that?
This is Brooklyn. She might be a little bit loud. She's a talker.
That's fine. So am I. Don't worry. I hear you, Brooklyn. So I want to play a game with you, but before I do that, I want to let you know that I think it's so cool that you get to work with a brand that's based out of Japan. I think I have such an admiration for the Japanese culture. I think it's such a cool place. I've never been, but that is like one of my bucket list places. So awesome that you get to go there. And that you get to like kind of on a daily basis interact, I'm sure, with people in Japan, right?
Yeah, some of the designers of the product that I'm going to show you today were Japanese as well. So it was kind of a cool collaboration between Japan and the US. and they're so good at industrial design and production and technology. So we were able to take that really cool stuff and make it accessible for everybody.
That is awesome. I love that so much. Okay, so my first game for you is actually to get to know you as a person. It's called Booze Ball. And this is basically it's like an icebreaker ball. So I'm going to throw it 3 times and I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's do this. First one. What did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a veterinarian, actually. I thought it would be really cool, but to be honest, the chemistry kind of scared me off a little bit, but I think I could have done it if I would have gone for it.
I don't know you, but I feel like you would have been a great veterinarian. All right, next one. A time you went to the hospital, speaking of medicine.
Time I went to the hospital. Trying to remember a time that I went to the hospital. Luckily, I try to stay out of it pretty good.
Me too. Other than my 2 children, I really haven't spent any time at the hospital, thank goodness.
I did get stitches once as a kid. I actually got bit in the face by a dog, which was my fault. I was a child and the dog was chewing on a bone and I went for him, which was a mistake. So yeah, I got bit in the face by a dog once.
Yes, guys, cautionary tale. Your kids should never touch your dog's food, treats, toys, anything like that. You never know. Resource guardian.
That was my mistake.
Now, well, you were a kid. It wasn't your fault so much as it was, maybe kids shouldn't be left to their own devices around dogs. And
You're
bones.
not wise.
And bones too. Those are high level treats. So that dog was like, get away from my bone. All right, next one or last one. What about your family most influenced you?
What about my family? These are big questions, some of them.
No.
I would say probably my dad was a big influence on me. He was always encouraging me to go try stuff and do stuff. My mom as well. That so long as I wasn't going to get injured in the process, go run around outside, almost free range child. Like they check on me every couple hours, make sure me and my siblings were not dead. But I think that kind of sense of freedom and exploration, I think really developed well into adulthood.
That is awesome. Yes, we have to think about it as parents, because I'm a bit of a helicopter parent. Even with my dogs, I'm like, off-leash dog, never. Off-leash kid, never. But you have to kind of give kids a little bit of room so that they can experience that independence and not go crazy when they actually get independence. And then they can have a little bit of a spirit of adventure from an early age. I love those answers. Thank you. Good job. Awesome job.
Good questions.
Well, I want to learn about Nitto, the Japanese brand that you are here representing. First of all, what does Nitto stand for?
So the word Nitto is actually really important in Japanese culture. It actually means rising sun. So the Japanese flag, it's white with a red dot on it. That actually represents the rising sun. And rising sun has a lot of cultural meaning in Japan. So the word Nitto is actually really popular. Perhaps you've heard of Nitto tires if you got a car buff in your family. That's not us. That's actually another Nitto. There's a couple different Nitto companies out there, but we're the only one that's just Nitto, period.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so what kind of products does Nitto manufacture?
So Nitto is a company that's been around for over 100 years, since 1918. And they started with kind of materials and industrial products. And since then, they've become really advanced as far as products that you'd find around you in your home, in your car, in your devices. They make all these really cool high-tech materials. And that's given them a lot of experience in knowing the latest and greatest technologies. And now what they're doing is they're bringing these really high-end cool technologies to everybody else through consumer products.
That is amazing. All right. So you joined Nitto almost 10 years ago. Is that right?
That's true.
And you are their senior marketing manager, but you're also involved in some product design. So tell me about how you balance those two things.
Yeah, so I get involved with everything. I like working with everything, and it's fun. It keeps it interesting. Sometimes we're working on aerospace. Sometimes we're working on lint rollers. So I think that's fun. You get a lot of cool, fun stories from that. But we started working on this product because Nitto is actually the #1 selling lint roller product in Japan. We have top market share there, and it's super popular. In fact, you might have seen on social media, I won't drop any names, but sometimes celebrities in Asian culture will sometimes like post on social media that they're using their lint rollers on the floor. Floor lint rollers are really popular in Asia because apartments are smaller. I didn't know this, but electricity is more expensive in other countries. So vacuums and stuff are a little bit harder to use. So they really like to use these big floor lint rollers. And we thought that was kind of a really cool concept that, we typically only use them for our shirts and stuff like that. So we thought, I have cats, and that's how I kind of got more involved in this project, is we wanted to do something for pet hair. And I personally have a lot of problems with this because I love my girls, but I really like to have a nice clean house. When friends come over, I like to pretend that that's what it's like all the time.
I hear that.
Your kids are the same way. I'm like, no, I totally live like this all the time. It's like,
Exactly.
it's no big deal. But I'm sure like you, I've tried every pet hair product out there. I've used all the brands, and like they all have some problem, one or another. So I was really excited that we had the opportunity to like redesign something to get rid of all the things that we hated and like fix some of these problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And you sent me the product. I loved it. And I'm going to tell you more about my experience. I'll give you like a quick review, but we have to take a break right now. As soon as we come back, I'm going to play a game about pet hair. We're going to learn together about pet hair. And then we're going to talk about the nitty gritty of what makes this specific product so special. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today we're talking all about pet hair with Virginia Mott, who works with a company based out of Japan that's called Nitto. And Nitto has been manufacturing products for truly a century, but they have recently designed something specifically with pet parents in mind. And as a pet parent, Virginia, I'm sure you are very well versed in pet hair, but you may not actually be versed, as I was not until I researched this show, about like the nuances surrounding pet hair. So I'm going to invite you to play a game that is called Pet Hair Facts. Are you ready?
Ooh. Are there prizes?
The prize is that we both learn.
All right. I'll take it.
I don't know. If it wasn't my game, then we could like make it a competition, but I already know all the answers. So I don't know where that leaves us. But this is actually this is a really basic true or false game, but I do find that there are some interesting factoids that I added. So let's do this. The first one is illness or stress, especially if it's chronic or long-standing, will affect the appearance of a dog's coat, particularly its shine and texture. And many dogs will shed excessively when they are under stress. And I believe that applies to cats as well. True or false?
That would make sense. I'd say true.
It is true. And just like with humans, it's related to like cortisol levels and hormone levels and like, imbalances in hormones as well. All right, next one. This one is actually really interesting. I did not know this one. Outdoor cats exposed to natural sunlight shed the most in spring and fall, whereas indoor cats tend to shed all year long. True or false?
It certainly feels true.
It is true. And you know what? In my research, I found might be the cause is that our indoor pets are kind of at the same climate, temperature control all year round. Whereas obviously an outdoor pet is more susceptible to changes in season and temperatures. So that's why they have their big shedding seasons and ours just shed all the time.
That makes sense, because I always wonder, why are you shedding in the middle of winter? You need that coat.
Correct. I asked my border collie the same question about this time of year until about March. Okay, next one. When a dog has more than one layer of hair, it is said to have fur. A double coat, like that of a Newfoundland, and most livestock guardian dogs is referred to as a fur coat, whereas a single coat, like that of a poodle, is considered a hair coat. True or false?
I know there's a difference between hair and fur, but I'm not sure about the technical difference. So yes.
True. It is true. And actually, I didn't know that either. So the difference between fur and hair is hair is less than 3 different types or different layers, and fur is the 3 layers. So more than 1 layer is fur, 1 layer is hair.
So they have that like downy little fuzz underneath, and they have fur, huh?
Yeah. Oh wait. Well, this is the next one. Let's see. Where's my cat one? Cats have 3 types of hair, each with its own texture and role to play, which means they have fur. True or false?
Well, are we counting whiskers? Because then I would say true.
Actually, there are 3, and whiskers, I don't know which part of I don't know. I think maybe the primary hair is a whisker, but it doesn't say here. They have 3 different types of hair. Guard hairs, which are considered the primary hairs. They insulate the body, protect the skin, and assist with their sense of touch. Then there's medium-sized awn hairs, AWN hairs, and they also insulate and protect a cat's body, but they're thinner than the guard hairs. And then we have the 3rd type of hair, which is called a secondary hair, and those are the crimped and rippled ones that look like they're in a hair crimper that are underneath all the other layers of cats' hair, and they regulate the body temperature and prevent too much loss of body heat. They actually have more of that crimped type hair than the other 2 types. Isn't that super fascinating?
That is really good. Good facts.
I actually have always admired those like crimpy hairs of cats. You know, you're like, this looks like it was literally ironed in 1982, and that is a secondary hair. All right,
like
here we go.
Permanent wave.
Yeah, they have the permanent crimped hair from like, I don't know, Debbie Gibson time. And if you're younger than me by a lot, you don't even know who Debbie Gibson is. You know. All right, cats have sweat glands attached to each hair follicle that secrete a thick, semi-fluid substance that covers each hair, giving it its shine.
False.
It's actually true and sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
I guess because it's some kind of a sweat gland, some are more predisposed to more of it than others. So you have like a kind of like a greasy cat, they probably genetically have more of these sweat glands. And if you have a more dry cat, maybe they have fewer of them. I don't know.
So I have like a sweaty cat?
You have a sweaty cat.
Oh, no.
This reminds me of Friends, the smelly cat, but this one's Sweaty Cat. Did you ever watch Friends when Phoebe sang Smelly Cat, Smelly Cat, Smelly Cat? What?
No, I haven't seen that episode, but now you've given me this picture in my mind when they're like trying to get away from me and they're running around, they're sweating, and then maybe that gives them like more slickness. So when I tried to grab them, they just like slide right through.
I mean, we're all imagining like these like dripping sweat cats, but really this is probably very like controlled and chic because cats are, you know, majestic and they are gods and they would never do anything disgusting, right? They would never. Okay, in most cases, it's the dander of the pet, the flakes of dead skin, that causes allergic reaction. And in some smaller cases, people are actually allergic to the animal's saliva. It is not necessarily the hair or fur that people are allergic to. True or false?
I believe that to be true because I have one that when she nips me sometimes, my skin gets itchy in that spot for like an hour.
It's so true. So do you have cat allergies and you still live with cats, or is that the only reaction you have?
According to my doctor, I have mild allergies, but that's not going to stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going anywhere.
I was a professional pet sitter full time for 7 years, and every time I'd go see a cat, my eyes would get like all like, and then eventually I just started hand raising kittens, and for whatever reason, the little tiny kittens didn't affect my allergies. It's the full grown kittens or cats that probably have more dander, which is why I react more. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more. Which one do I want to do? Oh, this one's really cool. While weather may have a minor impact, a breed's genetics plays the most significant role in terms of how much they shed. True or false?
True.
It is true, and that's why we know when we get dogs, you know, we go for a breed, or even if it's a mix, we kind of have an idea of how shedding it will be or how not sheddy it will be. But with cats, it's hard because we don't really know what like most domestic short hairs are and what genetic backgrounds they have. So it's harder to tell how much your cat's gonna shed. But interestingly enough, I did a wisdom panel on my dog Titan. And one of the things that came back, because he's a super mutt, like he has like a million things. He's like big dog with like some Chihuahua, Rottweiler, Chow Chow, you name it, he's got it. And one of the things that it said in his genetic results is that he doesn't shed much. And I was like, well, lucky me, because I had no control over that choice. When I got him, I didn't know what he was. He was a hound. I have no idea if hounds shed less or more, but I had a hound that was mixed with shepherd probably, and she shed like crazy. So like you really don't know with these mutts or with these cats, but that's why we know with like a golden doodle or a Newfoundland, we know kind of what we're getting into when we get those specific breeds. So great job, you aced this.
Yes. So proud. I get the glory.
You get the glory of saying you are a pet hair expert, and now you're going to tell me about this product we keep talking about. It's called ZeLo, and we've already, kind of hinted that it is a lint roller type product. But first, before we get into the nitty gritty, why ZeLo? Because you said that Japan, like things have a lot of meaning. What does ZeLo mean?
Yeah, so the actual name of our lint roller product in Japan is Kolo Kolo, which is a little bit of a mouthful. Kolo Kolo is actually the sound in Japanese of when you roll something. It goes kolo 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 kolo.
I love that so
much. Does that bring you joy? I'm so happy.
Yeah, it does. Because I'm Latina and we do a lot of those kinds of things in our culture, in our language as well. Like, you're like, wait, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's because of the sound it makes. And you're like, whoa, somebody came up with this. So yeah, it totally speaks to me.
Good. I'm glad. But we were worried a little bit it was going to be hard to pronounce. And also the original design of the product, Americans told us it looked like a paint roller. A lot of lint rollers are kind of boring looking. So we said, we can do better. I mean, when's the last time like the lint roller has gotten an upgrade? Like it's been the same product for forever, right?
Yes.
So we chose the name ZeLo. It's a little bit easier to say. We went from the word like zealous because we were really excited and we had a lot of passion for stuff. And then we did the LO on the end. And if you look at the logo, it looks like a periodic table because we wanted to give it a nod to its scientific background.
Nice. I love that so much. And actually, it's been a long time since the lint roller got an upgrade. And when I was at Super Zoo is how I learned about your product. And I was walking by and I was like, well, that is a very chic lint roller, right? Like I was like, wait a minute. And I love cleaning. I mean, I hate it and I love it, right? But with the right product, you get excited about cleaning. So I was like, wait, tell me more about this product. And when you sent it to me, my kids had the same reaction. My kids were like, what is that? Tell me more. Show me how it works. Can I do it? And of course, now I have to hide it from them because otherwise they would lint roll my whole life, basically.
Yes, do it. Have them clean your house. Free labor. Absolutely.
Free labor.
Go.
I'm going to have to order a second one to issue each one of them, so they can like go simultaneously, because really, truly, it's such a great product. It's so satisfying because you see the results like right there. And I have this amazing IKEA couch that I love, but that fabric hangs on to everything. And I have tried every single product. I've had, on social media, you see the ones that look like razor blades and people are using those to like clean their rugs. It looked like it was going to cut my couch in half. Like it was going to like literally break the fabric. So I tried it for a second after Amazon Prime Day and I sent it right back because I was like, this is going to destroy the fabric of my couch. And I mean, I love this couch. And then I've tried stuff that's not sticky. I've tried stuff that's sticky. I tried my vacuum cleaner and it does not come off. The only product that I've ever used that actually left my couch sparkling clean for like 5 minutes because my dogs and my kids ruined it, was ZeLo. No lie.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. And you're not just like being nice to me, right?
No. Okay, so what's really interesting, apart from the design, which is very attractive, the actual lint roller adhesive is different. It feels different. It looks different. Tell me about what makes it so different.
Yeah, so that's a great question because again, we think like everything is equal. All lint rollers are the same. So I actually have here the handheld one and I actually have the long handle behind me. If you can see it really well here. Here it is.
Yes. Okay.
The long handle ones are great for kids. And it's so funny you say that because we keep experiencing this over and over. And even in the office when we have like bring your kids to work day, here's a good tip for you. We take masking tape, we make a raceway. And we have them race. And by the end of the day, our office is so clean.
So awesome. I love that.
I don't know why. I don't know why, to be honest, kids love it so much, but you will never get them to clean with anything else the way that
no,
for some
exactly. It has
reason.
to be a cool tool. And the fact that it works and they can see the hard work, like the end result, it's just like positive reinforcement.
So take advantage of that. Give it that. Yeah. We'll send you another one so they help clean your house.
Thank you.
All right. So I actually have a dirty sheet on this one. So this is ZeLo. Yeah, well, I can guess it's actually covered in cat hair right now. So please don't judge me. I mean, this is the name of the show, right? So this should be
there is no judgment at all. None.
All right. So you'll see, lighting is a little bit rough in here. So you'll see a little bit on this that there is a ton of cat hair, but there's also a dark blue line and a light blue line. That's because there's actually made with two types of adhesive. So the light blue adhesive was actually specifically designed by our company and tested and formulated specifically for pet hair and dander. So if you're like me and have like mild allergies to your cat, especially like when you're gone for a couple days or the weekend and they take it out on you by sleeping on your pillow and then you come back and it's covered in cat hair. And I'm kind of honored that maybe they missed me, but I'm never really 100% sure. So we designed it because we wanted to make sure, and we did like scientific studies to prove that it actually picks up dander because it's hard to see if you're actually getting it or not.
Right.
Then those dark blue lines are actually designed. Did you try this on a smooth surface by chance?
Yes,
like on a floor? Did it roll?
Yes.
Okay. If you've ever had a regular lint roller and you like put it down on the table and then you gotta like yank it up, that always drives me crazy. Like, who thinks of this? Like, it's getting stuck in my drawer and everything's sticking to it. So those light blue lines help it roll smoothly across surfaces. But then we also included this case that you can put on the product so it doesn't stick to anything. Come on.
It truly is such a good design. I actually, apart from being a pet parent and a parent that is covered in pet hair, and I shed too. And my husband's always like, the house is just covered in hair. I also manage an Airbnb. And I've had guests that shed like crazy, and I'll wash my sheets, right? Like in the Airbnb, I'm the only one that makes the beds, because to me, that's how you know how clean a place really is. So our cleaning company cleans the place, but I do the beds. And I have had to use like these little lint rollers, to like when I'm making the bed after washing it, drying it multiple times, I've had to use these tiny little things, and they don't even work. Like I can go over something like 4 times and some textures of hair just don't get picked up. With this, it was perfect. And I used the long handle, so the queen bed, easy peasy. And I can be like, I can just be more at ease that my guests aren't going to like pull down the comforter and find hair on their sheets. Who wants that? That's so disgusting.
Yeah, you don't want any comments left about that. And it's so it's so easy to do, right? And that was my problem too, is when we were kind of considering the design for this, you've got like a fleet of cleaning tools, right? Because you have different surfaces, you've mentioned different textures. My dining room chairs have like velvet on them. And when I try to vacuum, I don't know what it is about pet hair. Maybe it's one of those 3 types of cat's coats, maybe the undercoat, the curly little hairs that get in there. You nothing would get it off of velvet. So I actually tried this one and I was maybe a little bit of surprised. I shouldn't have been, but I was so discouraged after so many failures that it actually got that off. And then another issue too is curtains for me. How do you clean curtains? Because if you have a cat or a dog that likes to sit behind them and look outside and stare at the day, I'm going to pull down my curtains and wash them all the time. So we wanted to find something that like worked with basically everything.
And you know what? People who are probably watching who don't get it are like, just wash them. But it's not even the time consumption of washing them and drying them. It's that even if you go through that process, some of the hair just doesn't come out. And like they have now like products that you put in your dryer that kind of absorb the hair, which might help. But I just feel like going through all that trouble to still have hair on your curtains and then 5 minutes later have more hair on your curtains is just kind of futile and a waste of time, when you can just, when guests are coming, you can ZeLo those
And that's exactly when I still wash my stuff. I wash my comforter, but it's like kind of like in between or right before like my date is coming over or my family, my mom is coming over and I don't want to be judged, right? Just quick kind of pick it up, get the couch, like pretend that this is like what it is always,
Correct.
Yeah.
I totally hear that, because if you looked at the rest of my office right now, you'd be like, she does not live like this. So I hear that loud and clear. So how long did it take from conceptualization, I guess, to market with this particular product?
That's a great question. So this particular product, we've been doing lint roller designs for nearly 40 years in Japan, and we have all kinds of different styles and adhesives and things like that for different uses, right? Because in addition to we're talking inside the house right now, but your car, right, is a little bit of a different place, right? Dragging out your vacuum and the giant cord out to the car. I do that too, drag out the shop vac, but it's like an ordeal, right?
No, I don't do it, and I don't plan on doing it. So yeah,
you go get it detailed. All right, check.
Husband, please do your work. His assignment is always the cars. I'm like, I will handle the house, but I won't do the cars.
You got a lot of free labor in your house.
I know, I do. Well, I mean, if only they were more cooperative.
So yeah, the design itself. So you'll notice it's a little bit different. We tried to make it look cool with the dark blue and the silver. Yes. So it's kind of like nice premium product. And then we kind of redesigned the roll itself. So we wanted to make sure that if you're using it on the floor, right, you can see if the sheet is filling up. So that's what this loop is for. At the end here, we have this little pinch design. So it's really easy to slide the roll on or off. We also redesigned the sheet itself. So normally when you have like a lint roller or any sort of roller, you're like, where's the edge? Where's the edge? You look at it. And then just like a roll of tape, you're like, okay, so I found it. And hopefully I've got good length of nails.
Such a waste of time.
And you get so frustrated. So every new sheet actually comes with an orange line, so you can always find it. And then when you get to that orange line, they're all designed to easy pick up, and they're all perforated at the end. So you easily peel it off and you don't unwind the whole thing and waste all of your money. So that was a new design we specifically did just for this product. And again, we were trying to solve as many of the frustrations that we personally had. So I would say, I'm trying to think, maybe from beginning to end, it was maybe a 1 to 2 year process, probably more leaning towards 2 years on redesigning so many aspects of it. Because again, like this product, a lint roller hasn't seen a makeover since when?
No, exactly. No, it's such a great concept. It's such a great product. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. I had seen it at Super Zoo, and I was like, I don't know who it was that was there, but he was showing it to me. He made me do the whole demo where I was like, rolling on carpet, like if it was a vacuum, and it worked beautifully. And I was so impressed. And I guess I wonder, we know that it's a little bit cheaper than washing, your curtains all the time. We know that it's cheaper than replacing your IKEA couch whenever it gets so disgusting that you don't know what to do with it. And we know that it's cheaper than vacuuming like your whole house all the time, or that one space where your guests are coming. It's quick, it saves you time, it's attractive, it's functional. So how premium a product is it? What are we talking about as in terms of price?
That's usually people's first question when it comes to the refills, or the product itself is like, how much is it going to cost? I'm going to have to get refills all the time. And if you do the math on the refills, it's only a few cents per sheet, which is a little bit less than actually other products on the market. Yes. Our handheld one, which is what you saw me showing you here. So this one is $24. And then if you like the long handle one, which is what you're seeing behind me, if it's, you're getting under couches, or if you've got like a mom or a grandma or something who doesn't want to bend down all the time, those are $29. And if you go on our website, all orders ship free over $35. So just get a refill and a roller and you get free shipping. And just for your visitors, because you've been so kind to us today, we have a special discount for you guys. So if you go to our website, which is ZeLoClean.com, here in the month of December in 2022, you can get 10% off your entire order, all products, with the code covered in pet hair. So one word.
Yay. Thank you so much. I'm going to take advantage and get a ton of refills because I know I need them. So other than your website, should we follow you on social media? How can we support this awesome Nitto company that I feel like you guys are just just the beginning. I feel like this is gonna bring you into the pet market more.
Yeah, I love the pet market because I'm a pet parent as well. So if you want to follow us on social media, just go look for ZeLo Clean, and it's a good place to watch because we do on occasion do promotions. We just finished up a Black Friday promotion, so take a look there. Also, if you tag us in your use, if your kids are running around having a good time with it, or you want to showcase your pet, just tag us, and we might be able to feature you on our social media channels. And if you want to learn more about science and technology and how they're around you in your daily life, you can go check out Nitto. So Nitto Americas is the social media channel for that. If you love science or you want to know more about why the technology in a consumer product can actually make your life better.
I love that so much. I'm such a fan. You have been so wonderful. I want to propose a toast to you for taking the time to chat with me and share all this with me and for sending me a sample. I love the product. I hope everybody buys it. For somebody like me, a busy mom over the holidays, like this will blow her mind, or any, meticulous parents out there, busy professionals, pet parents everywhere. So cheers. Thank you so much, Virginia, for being on the show. I also want to propose a toast to my executive producer, Mark Winter. Thank you, Mark, and to our audience for joining us. Make sure you take advantage of that promo code. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube so you can find out when I bring more awesome guests on the show. If you're listening on Pet Life Radio or any podcasting platform, please subscribe to the show and rate us so that we can get these awesome interviews out to more pet parents everywhere. Here is to a life covered in pet hair, because there's no better way to live, but you can manage it. You can manage it with the right products. Cheers! To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.